Hi, race fans. Here we go. We got some Clean Racing League here tonight. It's not a new track. It is new to me, though. It's over in Japan, so we're way over across the seas here. Motegi Oval style. Now, when I think of Motegi, I think of the road course, and it's really a famed road course and whatnot. But I did not know that they had an oval of this place, and we're going to see it tonight. And if you look at maybe the shape of this place, it looks almost like a Darlington-style shape. It's kind of skinny on one side and really kind of rounded on the other side. The only thing is it doesn't have the banking of a Darlington. But with that said, talked with some drivers, got some drivers today, and was watching them. They were talking in practice. Going to be kind of slick. You will see some shifting here too, but Matt, it's going to be an interesting race. I'm kind of new. I'm going to learn a lot about this place here. Maybe if anybody in the chat out there, because we're live on YouTube here tonight and Twitch. If you know anything about this place, let us know.
Yeah, this one I'm with you. I don't think I've ever called a race here. I don't think. I may be wrong there, but I don't remember running here. This place looks so unique, man.
It does. It again, if you look at an overhead shot, the circle-wise reminds you of Darlington. Obviously, the banking is not, but if you look at the turns, the way they're shaped, the track looks, the oval part looks like that. Now, again, here's a little bit of interesting notes, and I appreciate, man, Joe Spinelli out there, man, taking the time to let me know, because, again, new to this track here, it's going to be interesting to see here tonight. But some of them is that you will see some of the fastest way around the turns is to shift from turn 3 and 4 is by shifting. We've seen that in the past in some tracks. Shifting it plays a factor in being faster. But you will wear the tires a lot faster and burn more fuel, which kind of plays into that's kind of natural. Although you can stay in fourth gear, because these are still fourth gear style cars, they're not like the Cup cars have fifth gear. But you can stay in fourth gear and be more fuel efficient. So we might see some strategy if this thing comes to fuel mileage, like basically back at the Daytona race, then we might see some guys going that route. Now, turn 1 and 2, got to be very patient in that throttle. And again, he's talking about, because you might end up in the outside wall. What does that sound like? Darlington. Darlington, when you go into turn 1 and 2, guess what? You get thrown up against high up there, and you can end up into that wall. So it almost sounds like a Darlington again. Patient with the throttle and all. You just won't see that where Darlington, they fly up kind of towards the top of the track. Here it seems like they're staying kind of like at the bottom. But kind of the story, a little bit of the story, since we're in qualifying right now, a little bit of the story behind how we ended up with this track, because you do not see this one run too much oval-wise on many leagues at all. But kind of the story was Joe Spinelli kind of wanted the track, and since the league, since joining the league, he kind of lobbied for it. Chris finally said, "Okay, sure, we'll put it on the schedule." Now, the CRL podcast, which is one of our great sponsors here at Clean Racing League, check them out on YouTube and Spotify. On the podcast, obviously Joe Spinelli talked about it, and Chris just so happened to put the race on Joe Spinelli's wife's birthday. So, first off, happy birthday to Spinelli, Miss Spinelli. Don't spin out in the kitchen or anything, of course. I don't know if there's any barrels that maybe Joe's put up in there. Who knows? But happy birthday to you. Yeah, around the counter. Yeah. Again, happy birthday to her. Hope she has a wonderful one. Maybe she's listening. Hope Joe's out there listening and whatnot. I hope that she has a wonderful birthday. But nonetheless, he put it on tonight on his wife's birthday. He had to ask his wife's permission to race. She said fine. He said, "I'll probably pay for it in the long run." There you go. But that's kind of the story on how Motegi got here. As far as fuel goes, probably 1, maybe 2 pit stops here. That's normal for this league because they go. It's Clean Racing League. It's in the name. It's clean racing. they usually can go. But then again, cautions could affect that. We'll just have to see how the race plays out.
Yeah, they will. The cautions will affect it a little bit. But again, this lead, from what I've seen and you've talked about, not really many yellows here that we see normally. But again, this racetrack is kind of an unknown.
Yes, unknown.
I think we're going to see some great racing just looking at the layout. You mentioned it kind of acts like Darlington. I wonder if we'll see the slide pass where you go down low, slide the car up the hill, and go that route with it. I think
I'm not sure.
Be the thing we see later. Well, I know one thing, we're about done here with the qualifying here in just a moment. And what about Evan there and Ross, top two right now? 36.5, 36.51. So we're in the 36-second bracket here tonight, Joe.
Pretty good running time. Now, I was looking up. It is called Mobility Resort Motegi is what the track is here. Obviously in Japan. Originally Twin Ring Motegi. Now, that's what I remember it by, Twin Ring Motegi. That's it. That's what I knew I'd remember it by something. That's how I remember it. This place is it is a 1.5 mile track, so almost like round about a cookie cutter style track. That's the oval. The road course though was built in '97. Well, that's interesting. Actually, yeah, the road and the oval course was built in '97, so this track's not as old. Not that old. I mean, it's old, but it's not that old compared to some of the old ovals,
In racetrack years, it's like a teenager.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. By the Honda Motor Corporation. So that's an interesting fact there about this thing. But real quick here before I get any more than that, qualifying has come to close. Man on pole, Evan Kinney. I always like, man, trying to get the man up here to get a word with him, man. Let's get a word in with him real quick. Let me find him down here, the only dad's man here tonight. But I want to bring him up here. Get a word with our pole winner here. Evan, Joy in the booth, you got a copy?
Joe, I got you.
Well, man, I tell you what, unique track. Actually, we were just talking about this place, trying to figure out a little bit of history about it, whatnot. Saw you guys out there talking about it. You got it on pole tonight. How you feeling? Because I've said this track, if you're looking at overhead, it almost looks just like a Darlington, except for the banking that Darlington has.
Yeah, it's kind of like Nashville Super Speedway, St. Louis, Darlington, kind of all mixed together. It's a bit odd. I think track position is going to be huge because passing is going to be near impossible. So hopefully I can just keep it up front and get a good finish from just maintaining track position.
What do you think about tire wear here? Because that's, again, it's a lot of stuff here, and unfortunately, I know that people should say you should know, Joe, but I'm an unknown here a little bit on this track. How's tire wear you think is going to be here tonight?
Yeah, out of turn 2, you've got a pretty good chance of killing your right front if you're not careful, and then it's a little loose off of 4, so you're going to have to be mindful on both sides of the track. But I think your biggest obstacle is not killing it off of 2. That'll be a right front killer for sure. Well,
good luck out there, Evan, man. Hope to talk to you maybe later.
Thank you, Joe. All
right, let's get him back down to only dad's there, and he put it on pole here tonight, folks. Man, outside of him, Ross Tatum there along with Bobby Mantle. We got a Jordan Trask starting up in 4. Daniel Miller going to start 5th. Caleb Smith there in the 6th. Matthew Gilliam starting 7th. Justin Carey there in 8th. Jacob Grant Knight, Mike Kelly in the 10th. We've got 11th, Parker Collins. 12th, Justin Curtis. 13th, we've got Joshua Walters. 14th, Jeremy Moyer. 15th, Danny White. 16th, J.D. Daniel. 17th, Kenyon Jackson. 18th, Eric Anderson. We got Scott Simley there in the 19th. Ricky Harden in the 20th. Steve Gerber 21st. Logan Breaker there in the 22nd. Adrian goes 23rd. Bob D. Stevens there 24th. Joe Spinelli back at 25th. 26th, Darren Staff. 27, we got Dusty Martin. Nathan Brown 28. 29th, Andy Gordon. Jonathan Gastons in the 30th. Mike Howerton starting in 31st. Chris Smith 32nd. Lane Hostler there in the 34th. David Brzezinski in 33rd. Jamie LaRock 35th. Seth Fowley 36th. Frederick Garcia 37. Joshua Gillen 38. And it looks like Dak Peterson 39th did not start the field here tonight, but I want to say most notably, obviously, hats off there to Evan Kinney putting it on pole, but Lane Hostler back there in 35th. He's got a long way to go along with Seth Fowley. Not the best qualifying effort as we're getting set to go. Green flag here tonight. The mobility track here, Motegi, Japan. Pace cars in. I don't know how to say green flag in Japan, but we're going to say we're going racing here for the first time at the Clean Racing League at Motegi Speedway.
Good start there. They fanned out a little bit in the back there, Joe, but everybody going to make it down into turn one. So far, so good. Evan going to jump out a little bit ahead. Caleb Smith back there battling. It's going to be tight off of turn two there, Joe.
If it's what Evan was talking about, he was saying that my track position is going to matter. I'm going to say that probably saving the tires here is going to matter too. That brings me back to the man in 13th spot who has had a fantastic season, and that's Joshua Alta so far here in the trucks. And right now he's back in 14th. A track again like this could favor him if you've got to take it easy. You can see right now, yeah, it's side by side here at this track and 2x2 all the way back. But you can already see, man, kind of just the patience and easiness these drivers are having to do around this track. And you can already kind of look and see it's kind of tough to pass.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's easy to pass here. 3 wide down the back, big run. Around 8th of Matthew Gilliams there as they'll work their way into 3, but as soon as they get down into 3, they'll double file back out. Looks like you can go 3 wide down the straight. You don't want to really try it in the corner.
No, and again, we go back to what with Kenny and most of the guys I was here rumbling about is that you're very slick off into the turn. You do not want to try that here. You know, going into these turns, going to be very, but it looks like it's a bottom side dominant right now. That top side just not getting going the way it needs to. Kenny still leading this one out front. Tatum in second. Mantle right along with him. You got Trask. A little bit of battling going on, like I said, around about the 6th, 7th, 8th place spot. They stay a little about 2x2 at the Iceman back there. I think that's not Jacob Grant. I think it's Matthew Gilliam. Yep, in the 60. Oh, actually, it's Daniel Miller in the 67.
There is Daniel. And Daniel going to drop back here. He's already dropped 4 spots, man. You don't want to drop much more. You want to kind of stop that bleeding a little bit. Especially
if it's a tough track. You know, any track that's tough to pass, you know, you don't want to definitely want to fall back.
No, because I can done tell you right now just by looking, and this place is not easy to pass at all.
Yeah, so far, yeah, you can see it. I don't think we're going to see anybody coming, barreling through the field. I think this is going to be a track where you're going to have to utilize, if there's a caution, you're going to have to use that to your advantage. Again, very rare a lot of times in the league here, or you're going to have to use the pit strategy the best you can, or try to pick them off one by one. But again, you can see right here with this battle with Daniel Miller, and even the one right there in front of him with Caleb Smith, it goes on for, laps and laps and laps. Even if you pass someone, it takes many a laps to get around them. That's an indication that tells you, along with the lap times that we're seeing, everybody's in a 36 all the way back to 16th place spot, and even then it's a 69 all the way back to a 90.
Right. And update, Wayne Hosler is on pit road. He's in 38th, multiple laps down. He entered pit road here, had a little bit of an issue there. But Wayne's not off to a great, tremendous start. And he's actually not even in the lobby there at all there, Joe. That's not good. Evan continuing to lead. Ross there tucked in. Bobby there with Mike Kelly and Jordan Trask. Everybody working the bottom here, single file. And to your point there, Joe, is it surprising that the front 5-6 cars are getting single file this quick?
Probably not. I mean, again, with the way these guys have been talking about this track and the way that they're describing it and the way the racing wise, and obviously seeing that from what I'm seeing so far, it looks like a one groove style track. That's going to make it really hard to pass because obviously the guy in front of you is going to make a mistake. We can move out of the way. Again, from what I'm seeing right now, I don't think that outside lanes will come in. I think it's going to remain in one lane style track. So yeah, the single file, it's going to be kind of the norm here as the race goes on. Long green flag run, that is.
Yeah, and I think that is correct. You see right now, Parker Collins up 5 spots. Jordan Trask dropping 2. Just looking through the field here, some of these drops. Mr. Justin there as well. Terry going to drop 6 spots. So we've got some movers, but we've also got some guys that's dropping back here. taking a look right through here. The battle right now around Scott Assembly and Logan, and of course Steve there as well, nice and tight. But out front, trying to run away with it, Evan Kinney. Evan's got Ross Tatum though right there, just off his tailpipe, about 0.2 of a second back. So Ross able to stay with Evan for the time being there, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now you see Evan Kinney out front. I mean, they are running times that are pretty much about identical to each other. You just see that Ross is not able to pull up. Dirty air could come in a factor here. I mean, it's a 1.5-mile track, so you got to think about that too.
Yes, sir. And last time by, they were about 0.3 slower than they started. At least Evan and Ross were. So we're having a little bit of fall off. You get a little bit deeper in the pack around Jordan, you're down into the 37 bracket. So already a little bit of tire fall off here very, very early on. Taking a look there, JD Daniels back here, single file. What I'm seeing throughout this field right now is a single file conga line, Joe.
Oh, yeah. And I think you're going to see that as the race goes on. You know, everybody been up front so far. Just single file. Evan Kinney's out there watching here with Caleb Smith around about the 7th place spot. Let's go a little further on back. Yeah, again, just single file. We were talking earlier, some guys in the back here that, you know, started way back here in the back. Lane Hostler being one of them. Now, trying to see if I can't find him. Seth Fowley was another one. Now, Seth is up 7 spots, but again, it just shows you just how much it's going to take to get through the field. Lane, on the other hand, though,
he had to go to pit road earlier. He is not even in the car right now.
I see that. He must have had trouble. So, okay, so we'll have to get an update on maybe.
It was very odd. He just brought the truck to pit road. I didn't see any damage on the truck or anything.
Now, folks, let me go ahead and say we have had some storms in the area. We had a huge snowstorm, ice storm come through most of the southern states. I'm in North Carolina, and a lot of these guys are here in North Carolina with me. Some of them are, you know, could be, you know, Tennessee, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, power outages could happen, internet problems could happen, et cetera, et cetera. So major snow and ice storms that came through the areas.
Yeah, and people don't think about that, right? People don't think about that, Joe. It can affect these drivers.
Yep. So right now, Evan Kinney, though, he's got this place out here figured out so far. Remember I said earlier, you know, earlier in the year, last year, he's more like one of the road course ringers along with Caleb Smith when it comes to road courses. If you drive this place maybe easy, it could, you know, mimic. I mean, obviously you don't have to shift a lot like you would, or brake a lot like you would in the road course, but you know, throttle control could be a thing here. As I say that, here comes Mike Kelly, who actually is one of the hard chargers, up 7 spots here, and now he's up 8 spots trying for the lead. But again, we talk about passing. Just look how tough it is for him just to even get around him.
Yeah, come off turn 2 there, and you saw that momentum switch back. Almost like Mike had to lift out the throttle. He's going to drive it in like it's the Chili Bowl in the 3. Try to slide that truck up, quarter clear, and he'll take the race lead. And that's how it's done. You're going to have to drive it in deep, slide that truck up, do an old slide job right in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to go back to that. I think that's what you're going to have to do. Kind of just motor that thing to the inside, see if you can't get the guy to move up a little bit. So Mike Kelly to the front, looking to try to see if he can't get himself back into the playoffs. He was there last season, had a shot at it, trying to see if he can't get his season back on rolling. He actually dominated a lot early on last season in the trucks. Been so far, sitting in second. You see Ross Tatum coming on the back door. Evan Kinney could have burned a little bit up on those tires, been out front. I've talked about this in the past several times. Guy gets out front, he dominates for so long out front. He knows what his truck will do. He's very comfortable with what it will do. The problem is, when you get out front, or even in front of another truck, it's very hard. You have to be a very special, talented type of driver to actually be able to know how hard to push the truck and how hard not to push the truck, to where you're not pushing it enough to burn your tires up. It's basically in a nutshell, it's a lot easier to ride behind someone because then you're like, you know what? I can kind of ease off a little more, see how they're driving, save my stuff a little bit better. So that's kind of you got to be a very special driver to be able to get out front and maintain that.
Yeah, you really have to pay attention to pull that off, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Getting out front is one thing. Staying out there, a total different conversation.
Absolutely, and then I go back on the flip side of that is if you get out there and you stay out there and you dominate most of the race, which we have seen some drivers, and then you get marred in traffic, you know what your truck's going to do out front. But sometimes when it gets marred back in traffic, that's when you see those guys. Well, why ain't they coming back through the field? They were dominating earlier. Well, they're not 100% sure on what it's going to do in traffic.
Yeah, they don't know. If you haven't been there, you don't know, right? You don't know how the airflow over the truck's going to affect it. All these things that can upset the handle. So that's the thing. If you've never been in the back yet, and you get back there, it might be a whole different beast. Get it back through. And
especially coming from a track that might be with dirty air as a factor. And I'm going to say it is, but we go back to these lap times. Look at that. Mike Kelly ran a 29 to Kenny, and then a 39 there to Tatum, a 27-28. We're starting to now see a little bit of variance on times. I said earlier that a lot of these guys might be pretty even time-wise, but then again, if this place is playing out like all the guys are talking about, how you're having to, kind of modulate the throttle a little bit, play it safe, we might start seeing some fluctuations in those times as the race goes on and as the tires wear, falls off.
And I think we're gonna see a lot more tire wear as this thing goes. To your point. And to your point also, those time fluctuations, it could be a second, Joe. It could be 2 seconds. We really don't know.
Yeah, right now, you see the top guys that are running 32, 31, 33, 34. That's the top four. Folks, that's a couple of hundreds to each other. They're not passing each other. Let me just say that. They're going to be right there. Then you got Mantle back there to 28. Yes, he's a little bit faster. But then you go back here around by the sixth place spot, which we're watching, because we got some good battles going on back here. Jordan Trask is running a 59.66 and then a 70. So those guys are off by a couple tenths on what the front runners are, and you can see they're starting to fall off. They're actually, Jordan Trask right now is 2.8 seconds back from Bobby Mantle. Big battle happening around here around 10th place spot, though.
Yeah, this 10th place battle, you got them side by side all over each other, man.
Yeah, right, and it's a good racing going on around. We always say that 10th place spot's kind of a hot spot. For some reason, there's always battling going on around the 10th place spot. I don't know. Every time you turn around, it seems like guys on top of each other. You got Daniel Miller there, Jacob Gregg. Good to see him back out. Talked about him last week in the ARCA series there. Good to see him back out here running. And Joshua Alta's up 2 spots there along with it. Let's look back a little further on back. Remember, I was talking about Seth Fowdy. He's made it back up 9 spots. So trying to methodically, he understands that he's going to have to do it the hard way. Come up, 1 or 2, here and there. Obviously his thing. And then Lane Hostler out of the race here. I started defending series champ out of the race here this week. Again, could be some problems in the area. Like I said, we have a lot of ice storms, snowstorms. Everybody be safe out there. Tonight's going to be a real cold one here, so you definitely want to stay off the roads if you can. But it can interfere, obviously with power, internet, et cetera, anything like that. It can make a difference. I know we got some fans out there talking about some guys saying go 44. That's Kenyon Jackson. I know he's got a fan club out there. And I'm wanting to say, if I can find him real quick. Yep, there he is, Dusty Martin. I know he's got a fan club. 2 guys right now, they're back in the backpack, just kind of riding. Kenyon's falling about 3 spots. Dusty's up maybe 1 there to see if he can't get through the field. I think if you're starting to see anybody come through the field, it's going to take them a while to get through the field here. As we were just talking about, like I say, lap times, and they're still battling around 10th place spot.
That spot is almost a magic button, right? They stay bunched up around PTO.
You're right, and I don't know why, but it is kind of like a magnet for showing off where a lot of the battles is. You see Joshua Altus there, JT Daniels. That's a good side-by-side battle. Unfortunately, Altus is going to be on that outside. Daniels is going to be on the inside, but then Altus is able to make it work. Then he goes instantly down on that inside Right there. Let's look up here with our leader right fast, and let's ride on board here with our leader. Remember, we was talking about earlier, you're going to have to shift. The problem in this car is you can't tell when they shift. Actually, I might bring up the dashboard bar here for you, and hopefully that shows you. It should tell you what gear they're in there. In the far corner, you'll be able to see it on the screen from everybody. So definitely check that out. It'll show you how fast they're running, how fast they're and what gear. You can see him right there. He's in 3rd and 4th, so he is shifting, and actually 3 and 4. You saw it right there. This is what they were talking about.
Yeah, the thing about that is, though, if you shift at the wrong time, you can really upset that truck.
You can. I've raced in some races. It's been a while. I raced in races. I go back to Gateways, one of the tracks that I know that you really have you shift quite a bit in that one. You have to know when to, and a lot of times when you have to shift. I go back to here with Evan Kinney, road racing. In road racing, they tell you when you shift, if you got a shift going in, obviously you're going to shift before you get to the turn, if that's what you have to do. Here it looks like you're having to shift maybe halfway through. You want to make sure that truck is kind of steady and as straight as possible before you go back into your shift coming out. So you want that thing pointing as straight as possible. You don't want to be turning the wheel a lot when you shift. That's where you get into trouble, especially downshift. Upshift, not too bad, but a downshift, if you have that wheel turned a lot, you could end up, like you just said, you could spin that thing around real easy.
Yeah, you want the truck to do one thing at a time, right? If you're braking, you want the wheel straight, let off the brake a little bit, shift, and then start your turn.
Yes. And that's a road racing term. I use obviously slow in, fast out. That's a road racing term. Doesn't apply a lot here to oval side of things. It can in maybe certain tracks, but you'll hear me reference some things like that because I love GT3 style racing. Matter of fact, folks, if you like real racing, the Daytona, the 24-hour Daytona just concluded, and obviously I said when we started here at Daytona, it's the epicenter of all things motorsports. It's when the season begins. It kicks off the racing season for everything pretty much in the world, and it has the 24 hours. Now I know there's a threat this weekend. NASCAR's race could be a little threat because actually they're racing at Bowman Gray, which is only 30 minutes from where I'm at. So I just said we had major ice storms and stuff. Well, guess what? That could come into play this weekend as weather and stuff. So we'll have to see how that plays out. As our leaders on pit road, Mike Kelly, here on pit road around about lap 30. A little early if they were going to only do one stop, I think.
Yeah, that's actually quite a bit early.
Yeah, if they're looking at,
you would want to go to what, 42 if you want to do one stop.
Yeah, because if you're going back on what Joe Spinelli was telling us earlier, it's unfortunate running back here 30th, but if we're going back on what he was saying, now he said obviously could be two stop too, but I feel like you're going to see some guys push that one stop, which quite a few more coming on pit road. He's at lap 31. If you've got guys coming on pit road now, and I look at obviously that number 94 machine there, Joshua Altus, because I just know he does wild pit stops and loves to save fuel. He's one to maybe keep an eye on. Ghost, another one to keep an eye on. How long can they go? Again, you're going to have to go. I don't think they're going to be able to make it halfway. You got to go 42. Yeah.
You would have to be around 42 to really make that work.
What is on the screen?
You're Ricky back here. Ricky Harden up 9 spots up into 13th. Good job by Ricky moving that truck forward.
Give me a second.
And
don't know why that's on the screen, folks. Let me.
Folks, while Joe works on that minor issue, we do have more trucks coming down at lap 33. Still not at the 45 we were expecting. Joe, I don't see any way that we make this one stop.
I don't either.
Kenny's still out there rolling. Ross, they're still rolling with him. They're going to have to go another 2 or 3.
Somehow, in the middle of the screen, it all of a sudden just threw up. Somehow on SDK, it threw up. Obviously, my website, onlinesimracingnetwork.com. I don't know how I did that. I don't know what I clicked over here, folks. I guess I got click happy and clicked something I don't know what I'm supposed to. But yeah, there you go. A shameful post out in the middle of the stream. onlinesimracingnetwork.com. That's what OSR Network stands for, basically. So there. Go back to our pit stop strategy. You see Evan Kinney out. Yeah, they're going to have to go here, Matt. Probably another easily 7 more laps. Not saying they can't. Right on board here with Altus, because if anybody's going to do it, well, he is clutching. You see it right there, riding on board with him. He's clutching.
Yeah, they are definitely saving on the bit. I think what they're thinking is that number, Joe.
You know what? Let me also go back to, let's bring up our dashboard. Let's see if he's shifting, because remember, Spinell, yep, he went into 3rd right there, so he's not saving as far as 4th, but he is clutching. He's going all the way down 1,100 RPMs, which that tells me there's 2. Without having all the telemetry on the dash right there, just that little bit of small, just the RPM, that tells me one thing, folks. When you see it fall to 1,200, 1,100 RPMs, that means he's smashing in the clutch. If it was to fall all the way down to, I don't know, a couple hundred RPMs or 0, that means he's cutting throttle and bringing it back on. Now, again, if you've got a clutch pedal or button box, you know, a lot of guys, man, have those. You definitely could, flip that switch on, off, going into the turn and go from there. So, yeah. Going to burn up the clutch? Well, you would think so. 12. I'm gonna just call you 12. I ain't gonna name out the whole number there. My bad. You would think so, but actually, that is they do that here in NASCAR, and plus, these guys, you got to look at the equipment. I mean, these clutches in these cars can handle quite a bit of abuse. But all he's doing is just mashing it in and popping it back out. He's not riding the clutch. He's not doing anything like that. Now, if he was riding the clutch or something like that, that might be different. But yeah, because really, here's another fact. Matthew know this is the only time that they ever use the clutch is coming in and off pit road. Because when they shift going on the track, they don't clutch. It's bam, bam, bam. Now, these are still old school F pattern as far as I know, shifters, because they're still forward. Unlike sequential shifters, which are in the next gen. So, but still, with that, they shift them. Well, some people call it power shift, whatever you want to call it, but they don't use the clutch to shift once it's up to speed and going. Used to in the old school back in the day of NASCAR, that's how it was too. So maybe a little insight on mechanics of how some race cars work. Don't try it on your street car, please. Don't go out there doing it unless you do want to replace your transmission. Yeah, I wouldn't advise that.
Grab down, shifting the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. So yeah, don't try that, man, on anything else. But it does look like from what we're seeing there. So now I'm curious. Let's ride on board here with our leader, Evan Kinney. Yep, and as soon as I go on board with him, he's down to 1,100 RPM. So he is. These guys are going halfway, Matt. They're going the long one. So let's look and see, though. And that brings us to the question of his last lap was a 37.92. The first one that made a pit stop Yeah, they're running 36.91s, which is Mike Kelly, who pitted on 29. So he's a solid, well, a little over a second, not too bad. Let's see if we can't maybe get somebody that's a little bit newer back here. Daniel Miller pitted on lap 32. There's 35 for Logan Brecky. They're all running about 36.8, 36.9 to his 38 flat, which is a little over a second. So that also tells me right there too that this is a track position oriented track. Tires, yes, there is that, but 30 lap difference and only and as you see our leader on pit road now, 30 lap different tires and only about a second, maybe a tenth or two difference. If this thing comes down to a 5-10 lap shootout and you're marred way back in the 25th, 30th spot, you're just not going to have enough time to come through the field.
No, you're not. And you just got to nail these pit stops here, do everything right. See Evan on pit road here. I think the call to stretch the fuel may have been the right thing to do.
I think so. It all will depend on how far out front you are. You see Altus and Trask, actually the top 8 have yet to come on pit road. Mike Kelly's back in 8th place now. But now you see Joshua Altus, which makes it a one stop. He made it to 42. Trask looks like he's going to try to take his to the 43 mark. Maybe Scott Simley is also with Ricky Harding, which are the only 3 that have left to come on pit road. So yeah, 42, 43, we're looking at these guys. If there's no caution, they're definitely making this a one-stop race. Now the question's going to be, there was a 19-second gap between him and Mike Kelly. If it comes down to the last pit stop and another 19-second gap, that could be enough. Could be enough.
Could
to stay, stay out front. And I really feel like it is enough. I just don't want 100% because I've been fooled before. Because tires are going to fall off. You can see, he was running in the 36.8s. Now he's running 37.0. Mike Kelly was. So the tire wear is falling off. That's another key factor. How fast will the tires fall off? You might have these new tires that are doing great, but how fast are they going to fall off? That's another. But we can also kind of look right here. Bobby Mantle pitted at lap 32. Mike Kelly pitted at lap 29. Mantle right now is 3.4 seconds back. Yes, he's a touch faster. His last lap was a 37.06 to 37.21 of Kelly. So he's about a little over, almost 2/10 there, maybe about a tenth and a half faster. How long is it going to take him? It's going to take him quite a while to make up that 3.8 second gap.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit to get back. We got to caution.
Yes, we do. We're just having to look down. Jamie LaRock. Oh, interesting here. Let's go back and see what happened. He's smoking on the bottom side there. Boy, now this. Oh, he just lost it coming out of the turn. Smacks the inside wall. That could have been a shift. That could have been.
That was a hard impact.
Yeah, let's I'm not sure. I mean, he smacks the wall. It could have been that shift that I was talking about earlier, and then it just looped on him on the inside, hits the wall. But now this, I would be surprised if they don't come back on pit road. Everybody, I would just, especially Mike Kelly and all them guys who just pitted and was going to make a 2-stop. Yeah, they're coming on pit road. Yeah, it's the problem now is, Matt, if you're Joshua Altus and Jordan Trask and him, man, you're banging your head on the keyboard of the steering wheel because the pit strategy that you just had just got threw out the window.
Oh yeah, that pit strategy is going for.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it looks like they're not coming back on pit road. They're going to opt to stay out. But everybody else. Now, it did give them track position. I will say that. So that's good. That is the good side of it. Can they stay up front? Can they have benefit from the track position? But everybody else who now got a couple laps newer tires, but also they're not going to have to. They're definitely only making it one stop. Wow.
Yeah, there's no way they're making it more than one.
Wow. Under caution, first time here tonight. Don't know. There it is. Okay. Bring him up here real quick. Lights are still on. Okay, we're good. Jordan, Joy in the booth, got a copy.
I got a copy.
Well, man, I tell you what, I know we were watching on Spit Strategy. You and Altus obviously were looking at a one stop. Now this caution kind of changes that a little bit, but you did get the track position out of this thing. How are you feeling now that caution came out?
Yeah, I really don't know. I wish it would have stayed green. If it stayed green, I think Josh and I would have guaranteed a first-second finish right there, whichever one of us it would have been. Yeah, now I got to save a little bit of fuel and try to maintain the track position, but mostly good on fuel at this point. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I wish it would have stayed green, but you never know how it's going to go.
How's the tire wear out there for this track?
Definitely right front heavy. It gets tight. Got to be patient picking up that throttle, or else it wants to take you straight into that outside wall on exit.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're looking good out there out front. Good luck there, Jordan.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's Jordan Trask. We got the insight there. As you can see, the guys coming around, getting set to go back green here tonight. Been a solid, really, race here at the Motegi here for the first time for the Clean Racing League here tonight, presented by Ghost Athletics, the RL podcast. Go to cleanracingleague.com, folks. That'll get you up to speed on everything that's going on with the league. The podcast. Obviously, get you up on the sponsors here. Definitely check out, CRL podcast on YouTube and Spotify. They have new episodes every Friday. They go up. Definitely check them out. It's lights off on the pace car. Going to duck off on pit road. Jordan Trask this time is going to bring him to the line. And this is going to be interesting when he brings him to the line, because he just said they're going to have to save fuel as we go back green. A lot of the guys behind them, I don't know how much fuel they're going to have to save, because they're going to have it. And we got an instant caution already. Oh.
Insta boo-boo.
Oh, boy. What happened in the back? It looks like Abram Ghost. Oh, man, my Ghost man back here in the back. They weren't caught up to the field back here for some reason. I don't know why. They weren't lined up when this thing went green.
And then a big checkup just kind of...
Let's see.
Right? Didn't that big checkup kind of hurt?
We're watching it right now. Yeah, the Frito guy up there, man, checked up a little bit. Ghost got in the back of someone, but it also took Nathan Brown with him. Nathan Brown, man, didn't have anywhere to go. Yeah, just a check up in the back, and then from there, just unfortunate. Woo! Yeah, Nathan Brown, Jonathan Garter, or Jonathan Gaston, excuse me, and then Adrian Ghost all involved. Ouch.
That should bring us lap 50 of 85, so roughly, 33 to go when they get to restart here?
Yeah, and it goes back to, now, these caution laps will definitely help guys like Trask and Altus. They'll help everybody, really, because you're able to save fuel under cautions. I always attest to, it's not a definite science, but it kind of has worked out a little bit. For every caution lap, on a track like this, it usually equates to maybe round about 2 laps of green flag, give or take. Okay, so yes, this is helping them, but I know they would have loved to have went green, ultimately at the beginning. That way they wouldn't have to worry about too much here. But so far, Motegi has not really been that, I don't think, that problematic of a track.
It's been actually oddly simplified, actually.
Yeah, really, really, really good racing has been here. Guys have been very patient. And I go back on, I've harped on it many a times. It's in the name, Clean Racing League. There you go.
hey, if it's in the name, it's got to be true, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll say it many times.
Yeah, man, it's been a pretty easy night tonight, I got to say.
Good one so far. Get set here to go back green. First time here. Track's over in Japan. Good looking facility. I mostly know it by the road course side. But we're on the oval side tonight. Good surprise here too. It's getting set to go back green.
All righty, buddy. I got to step out of the booth really quick. I'll be right back there, bro.
All right, pace car pulling them around. How y'all feeling out there tonight, man? You loving it? Pace cars in. Here we go. Green flag's about to fly. We're back at it. Another good, pretty good start that time. Oh, some guys back in the back there spun the wheel. Tires a little bit. So they look like Evan Kenny. Put it on pole tonight. He got a little marred back in traffic, but meanwhile, man, they are 2-3 wide up here in about the middle pack, around 15th place spot, trying to get everything they can. You can see Trask leading this thing with the Altus right along with him. Storming out of the turns. Man, look at this pack back here. This track's wide enough to do it. Problem is the turn's not too wide enough to get it done 3-4 wide, but they're going to try it. Old Caleb Smith stuck in the middle there. The 90 machine, 98 says he had to back it out. He got loose coming out of the turn. Wow, that was a wreck that should have happened that didn't. Holy cow, the 98 machine. That was J.D. Daniels. Had that thing cocked sideways and almost wrecking. They are wrecking. That goes around in the back. Jacob Grant, caution out. Wow. We had the first part of this thing was pretty silent. Now, I think the guys are understanding that on the starts they're having to get everything they can get. You just see how loose these folks get coming out of here. Right there, Grant was kind of marred in the middle of the pack. He was on the high side. Oh, he got bumped. Came down a little bit, got bumped in the rear. Little track spun. Ouch. I think what we're seeing here, folks, now, as opposed to what we're seeing at the beginning of the race, kind of a little unknown coming into the race, and now they know this is, I call it the Auto Club effect. Basically, you've got to get about everything you can on the start, which makes restarts and starts very hectic and dangerous because everybody's been very aggressive to try to get as many positions as they can because they know if the race keeps going and it gets fanned out again, it's going to be very hard to pass. That's the problem. What's up, Soup? Daniel's up to 10.
Yeah, Joe, it's kind of like cautions breed cautions type of thing.
They do. Yeah, I call it the Auto Club effect a lot. That track really is so positioned oriented that passing is once you get going in a green flag there, forget about it. You trying to get through the field is kind of hopeless cause everybody's running the same. Kind of what we saw at the first part of this one. But the bad thing is though, even on that track, the restarts are so hectic because everybody's. All right, look, I'm back here in 15th. I'm gonna still be back in 15th if I wait 4 or 5 laps. I'm never gonna get up front. I got to get up out of that 10th place fast. And what that does is it makes a lot of this aggressive 2-wide, 3-wide racing, guys doing moves that they shouldn't do. I think the reason we didn't see it at the beginning of the race is because it's kind of unknown coming in here to a lot of these guys. Now they know, and unfortunately, but we pair that, Matt, with how this track is, racing being a lot loose coming out of those turns.
And everything else. Yeah.
It just don't work. It just don't work.
Pair it with this being a really unique racetrack in general.
But it's been a fun one. I mean, I really, if you had told me that this was in Japan, unless you would have told me it was in Japan, I wouldn't have known. It looks almost like one of the American-style tracks, and it races about like one of the ones we'd have over here. It has been a very, very good race here tonight so far.
Been a very, very amazing race, honestly. So, Joe, got a question for you. Who's your pick going forward in this event?
Whoever finishes first.
Now, Joe, that's cheating.
I mean, I've done that before. Then I ended up being given the broadcaster jinx. Yeah.
Yeah, those do happen. I can attest to that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go back here to what the strategy that Trask and them was on. I still think it could play out here, especially with these couple cautions here. It might have played back into their hand a little bit because now they're able to save the field that they would have had to save under green flag. They're able to save here under the cautions. I think, and again, until we start seeing this thing go long green flag run, will the tires in the back of, let's say, Mike Kelly, Simley, and those guys back there who are on a couple lap newer tires, will they play a factor? That's going to be an interesting point. So we're getting set to go back green. Lights off on the pace car. Pace car's in. We'll see if Traskman and company's here. Green flag. Back in the air. It looks like a lot better restart here on this one than the past. Everybody keeps going. But again, back to that 2 wide, almost 3 wide, because you've got to get what you can get on these restarts. But you see Trask and Jordan able to pull out.
Pull out and get it going, and that's what you want to be able to do, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, again, you was asking me about it. I go back on, they've got the track position, Trask and Altus, so they're still controlling it pretty well. I go back here now. Mike Kelly was able to make up a couple spots there. It's going to be interesting with those new tires. He's right there in 6. You see him. If he can slice and dice here early on, it's a little aggressive racing right there behind him with Scott Simley. He's coming up there too. He's in at 11. But yeah, Mike Kelly, he's utilizing what he's got with those tires coming through the field. Remember, he was leading this thing before. He went there on the pit stops before all, a couple cautions we had. Man, just see how slick these guys get coming off those turns. This truck's been wanting to just go sideways.
It really wants to just get sideways and roll, right? We're 58 in, and these trucks just got to hang tight right now.
Yeah, and you see Parker Collins up a few spots. Danny White's up 9. I mean, you got Ricky Harding, man, up 19 spots, sitting right there in 3rd. He's up quite a bit. Darian Staff up 6. Oh, wreck in the back. We got a big one. Yeah, got a big one back here. Kenyon Jackson involved with this one. Let's see what happened. They were 3 wide, and he just got into the side of the 44 and just got bumped. Dustin Harding's involved. And this one, not a self-cleaning track, and I'll get into that here in just a minute because now everybody's like, oh, Lord, Joe's throwing out new words to us here. But watch this one more time. Looks like Dusty was in the middle. Oh, maybe the 44 bounced off the wall a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell from there. Those two just came together and then just chaos from that point on. And when I talk about self-cleaning tracks, there's a little bit of physics involved with this when I talk about this. You can see right here, and we'll go back and watch it one more time here. You see all the trucks, how they kind of just stayed in the middle of the track. They did not go up. They did not go down on the track. Some tracks, and I'm going to use Daytona. Daytona is I don't think it's really not a self-style cleaning track, because what happens at Daytona, and you would think it would be the opposite. Watch right here. As you can see, kind of just the trucks go everywhere. They just kind of stay. They don't go up. They don't go. But let's go to Daytona. Daytona, when somebody wrecks, you would think, as high banked as that track is, they're instantly just going to come right back down. No, usually they go up the track and right into the wall. Okay? 9 times out of 10 they do. That's what I mean. It's not really so. But there's tracks, though, that are banked, that are certainly banked, certain ways they're banked, that the car instantly will go back down the track. And that's what I'm talking about. They're like a self-cleaning track during a race. So a little bit of physics. Maybe go out there and do some homework on it. Couldn't tell you what tracks are what tracks. I think Dover is maybe one of them that, if it's right off the top of my head. But it's a physics thing. It's almost like the fuel. Man, I don't know how much you know about the fuel pickup on these race cars. And I've had people ask. Now, obviously, in the virtual world, I don't know if iRacing's got it down like it is in the real world. But here's how it works in the real world. And I've had people ask me, well, why is that guy riding on the apron here online? And unless iRacing has it down to a T like it is in the real world, the reasoning that they do that under caution is because the fuel pickup is actually on the right side near the wall of the fuel tank. And I know everybody's thinking, well, why in the world would it be way over there on the other side of the truck when they're going around a turn and they're cocked up? You know, the fuel should flow. At pace speed, fuel is going to level out. It's going to stay level. So the fuel pickup is going to pick up. Now, the lower the fuel goes, obviously, the fuel goes towards the left side, and, you know, the lower the fuel goes, they need it to level out, so the fuel pickup does. But under max speed, anything I'm going to say probably well over 100 mile an hour, okay, or more. Fuel actually, with these banks, the tracks that are banked and stuff, fuel actually gravitates to the right side of the truck, okay? It just kind of goes up. And that's why the fuel pickup is on the right side, because the fuel is there. And so it kind of again, physics, folks, you gotta love it. It's NASCAR type of things, but I figure maybe some people out there might be interested in that. Little nitpick things you pick up over the years. You know,
physics will get you everywhere.
It will. And
physics is a main thing.
And it's amazing too, you know, because you think about it. Because again, it makes no, in logic sense, you know, you're like, man, that makes no sense logically. How does that work? But yet, that's how. Well, we'll get into that one as we go back green here, because I'm gonna blow your mind with another one here in just a second. You actually have to have. Well, you can feel this actually in your real car when I talk about it here in a second. But green flag, here we go, getting set. Lights off on the pace car. Ricky Harden and Joshua Altus out front. Pace car's in. We're back green at Motegi again. And it looks like Altus is not getting the starts he wants here. But man, he's got Mike Kelly chewing up that back bumper.
There we right there. Here we go. 3 wide behind him, Joe. That's going to get tight. Joshua Altus there. Parker Collins. They're going to have to get a little bit of room here. It's going to go way bad.
Yeah, this is not where Altus wants to be. Remember, this is not what benefited him at all. Been on that high side. Kelly's got those new tires on. The meanwhile, down on the bottom, it's Parker Collins. Those two guys, man, are racing very hard. Again, I told you on the restarts, they're trying to get everything they possibly can, but it looks like Joshua Altus, those tires have now given it the ghost. Caution is out. Oh, David Persiski in the back here. Let's see what happened to him. He's the man in that 92 machine right up on the top and just lost it. And that looks like that a product of he shifted and the rear end just kicked out from under him. That's just the way that car looked, the truck looked. Kind of looked that way. Well, since we're on the caution, what's that?
That wreck was nasty, man.
Yeah, just tore it up, man, right to the wall. Ouch. I said I was gonna, throw a little more tidbits out there, and hope maybe y'all don't mind. I kind of like the little tidbits throw out here, but you can actually feel this in your real car. It's really bad. The higher the speed you go, it's in turns, G-forces in turns. If you ever look at a race car and their seat, and you notice they have a massive amount of padding around their ribs and sides on their right side. Excuse me, on their left side. My left side, my bad. Yeah, my left side. The reason for that is when you go in a turn, again, physics, you would think if I take a left-handed turn like they're doing, my body's going to shift right. Wrong. It actually will pull left. Yeah, I'm telling you right. Somebody might correct me out there. Anyways, it pulls the opposite way. And that is why they do it. Now, you could feel that in your real car. Again, let me advise, don't go out doing speeding on the road. Okay, folks, that's dangerous. Don't do it. But you could actually, even in a 40 or 50 mile an hour turn, if you sit straight in your car, you actually could feel your body go the opposite way and pull. Now, imagine that 4 to 5 times stronger, because these guys are going like 130, 150, 180 mile an hour in these things. So kind of interesting things like that. It's different for stuff like now NASCAR. These guys only have to worry about doing it on one side. Imagine a road guy who has to worry about going right and left. I mean, that's wow. Hard on the body after a while.
Yeah,
what do you think, Matt?
That would not be fun. Yeah, right and left would not be a fun thing to do.
Drag racing is another interesting one there. Those guys feel so much G-forces. They feel actually probably a little bit more G-forces than one an F1 fighter or an F-15 fighter would, on a takeoff. They're getting upwards to 6, 7, 8 Gs when those things take off. It's massively on the necks. And then when they pull the chute, thank God for harnesses and stuff, because it jerks them forward so much with the belts and all. It's really crazy. Can you apply for the league on iRacing, or is it an invite? Twig, I tell you what, go to cleanracing.com, and there's a gentleman there called Chris Smith. You might be able to send him a message. Send him a message. It is open. Now, I get into it really quick here. They have what they call a charter system here. They pay for charters coming in. Now, that doesn't mean that you still can't come here and race, because they leave 3 spots open for every race that you could qualify into. Basically, you run qualifying. If you're fast enough, if you qualify high enough, you get in. Great. Or qualify higher than any of the charter drivers, you get in the race. There you go. So you can physically come here and race. They might put you in the Wednesday night ARCA series, though, just to test to see. I'm not sure. Chris Smith's the man to see, but meanwhile, pace car's in. Jordan Trask going up here, and I was getting a little sunset out here too. Not quite sure what the time frame is here in Japan, but we got Ricky Hardin up front now along with Jordan Trask. Remember, old Joshua Altus on those couple restarts had fallen back. And that might be those tires coming into play. That truck getting a little bit tight on him.
Yeah, it might be. Those tires will eventually sneak up and get you here, Joe. If you're not careful here, they thunder down the back straightaway right now.
What's up, Kermit, man? How you doing out there? Doing pretty good. Just doing a little bit of racing here. These guys went to Japan. Oh, the contact back there. Oh, hang on to it around about the 9th place. Remember we were talking about that 10th place spot earlier, Matt?
Yeah, that's the magnet spot.
Oh. Yeah, hit up Chris, man. Chris is the man. Oh, caution.
Okay.
Who we got? Oh, Kenyon Jackson again with Mike Howerton in the back. Oh, boy. And I think what we're seeing, and oh, yeah, those two just got together. I think what we're seeing here is maybe a product of a little bit of urgency here on these starts, Matt. We didn't see it at the beginning of the race because a little bit unknown of what this track, has or involves. But I think here what we're seeing is now we know that, hey, look, we got to get going if we want to get up front or make some positions. And we're seeing a little bit of urgency. That's what's bringing out some of these cautions here late.
Yeah, once the time starts to run down and you got to go, right, it really becomes go and go right now, and you see what happens.
Yeah, well, you're right, 12. I mean, concentrate on the C and CRL. Yeah, I mean, hey, look, you know, I say it a lot. Clean Racing League is in the name. It's clean racing, but I'm not saying that they don't have tracks that they've had bad races at. It's happened. It happens it happens in the best of leagues. I will say 90% of their races are pretty much dead on clean. But again, I do go back to this was an unknown for a lot of these guys on this track, and I go back to how it was those first 30-something for the first pit cycle. We were pretty much clean throughout. I think a lot of that was because of a lot of caution that's being brought in. They didn't know. Now they understand that, man, if we're going to make any positions up and not be marred back here and stuck, we got to go on these restarts. We got to go. And you're seeing the urgency. The problem is with urgency, and you know this, Matt, is mistakes can be made very easily, especially with a slick track like this.
Yeah, man, and slick tracks is just hard to deal with. You got to be easy on the throttle. You got to pay attention to your downshifts and really just take care of the truck the best you can.
Jordan Trask out front. Harding right there along with him. Parker Collins, Altus, and Curtis. Top 5.
Well, we should get ready to get back to Joe, and maybe we'll have a run to the end here, Joe.
I mean, again, and I get it, that urgency to want to get back, especially if you're back there 15th, 20th spot, you know, time's running out, getting down the last laps. Yeah, you know, there you go.
So again, I know time's running out here, but to finish first, you got to finish though. That's kind of the trick.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, got to make it to the last lap to be there.
We should be ready to go green here in a moment, Joe, and I think Jordan and Ricky and the guys up front, they're going to have to put on a show to stay up there.
Yeah, he is. I think it's going to be interesting to see right now. Guy's going to line them back up. Now, Jordan's able to maintain, and I see Altus on that outside, too. Like his truck was starting to get a little bit tight. Mike Kelly's probably the one sitting there going, man, I was running up to the front. But remember, these heat cycles in these tires can affect them a lot. Well, he might be one to probably saying, man, I want this thing to go green. I've got the tires. These cautions are messing me up here.
Yeah, that's not what you wanted to see, is the cautions kind of mess everybody up. But I tell you what, it's been a heck of a run tonight, Joe. And with Jordan up there, you got Ricky there, Parker, Curtis back here, and even Evan now in 6th. His situation, this is going to be an epic run to the end, I feel like.
So far, so good. Here we are tonight. Lights off on the pace car. First time here for the Clean Racing League here at the Motegi Raceway here over in Japan. The oval racetrack. I know they have the road course is more known probably to a lot of folks, but the oval part here is what we're racing on. It's first time here tonight for the Clean Racing League guys. And Jordan Trask, man, is going to lead them up here to the green. Lights off on that pace car. Pace car drops off on the pit road. Trask, Harding and company up front. Green flag back in the air. We're back racing.
We back at it and back going, and they're going to dive down here. Look at the scramble for turn 1, Joe.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Parker Collins knows I got to get what I can get. Maybe if a caution comes out, I'll get back up here to second place. But this is the urgency I'm talking about, and especially the urgency with only 14 laps to go. Laps to wind off, but look at them beating and banging each other way back in the back. Collins goes for the block on Harding. Well, I'm going to tell you what, a little early for that, but I think, man, and that's what I'm talking about, where you know that's just how valuable these positions are.
Beating and banging and getting after it, but look at this. Jordan pulling away, but they're all over each other right now for second.
Yeah, you see.
Oh, little contact there, Joe. The one car 94 of Joshua up the hill.
Yeah, he's got Evan Kinney. Evan Kinney back in the thing again. Really put it on pole early on. Oh, the leader! What in the world are they doing up front? I mean, Jordan Trask ran him all the way down to the grass. That's going to open the door for Ricky Harding. He puts his nose in, but Parker Collins right now to the inside of Jordan Trask. And boy, those two guys.
Oh, right behind. Come, here we go. The 3
Collins
around.
is going to get him. Wow, yeah, so we're going to be under caution, but Parker Collins got it. Go back and see. We're going to go back on Ricky Harding, the 3. Oh, yeah, the 88 got the 54 or 45, and then from there, it was just a mess of a pile up. Trucks everywhere. Let's go back and watch one more time, different angle here. Looks like Harding had to step up, but you see, oh yeah, the 86 just came down and got the 45. Darian Staff. Whew, Mike Kelly got through that thing really skinny there.
Body, man.
Hard racing. What about that? I mean, Parker Collins and Jordan Trask, man, those two guys are wild up front, but that just shows you right there how much track position is. Is this the caution? Well, Paul, again, if you've not been listening to what I'm saying, obviously not, but if you watch the beginning of the race, it's unknown. This is the first time they've ever been to this track. Ever been to this track. So none of these guys, I mean, we've never raced here in the Clean Racing League. But we went 30, almost 42 laps. We went 42 laps, caution free, on an unknown track. Now, what I'm seeing here, again, I'm going to go back and reiterate it, is the urgency to get to the front. And with that urgency, Matt, you know, 3 wide happens, 2 wide happens. Guys do aggressive moves, trying to block, trying to make it. Plus, on a very slick track, these trucks are getting out from under them coming out of turns. So you get side by side, don't take but one little hit, and boom, there you go. I mean,
one little mistake's all it takes.
That's it. I mean, on a track like this, but you take it back, we did what, Daytona? We only had, what, 2 cautions in Daytona? So there you go. You can kind of say what you want. I put a lot of it on the track and the urgency of what this track is, and now that they know they're going to have to go, especially if you're, let's say you're Ross Tatum back there in 11th. Your time's running out to get to the front. And if this thing goes green, let's say the rest of the way, Ross Tatum is not getting to the lead. Not from where he's at. He's going to have to make headway on the restart, on the first couple laps of the restart. But the problem is he's going to have to be very aggressive. And aggressive on this track, it's just, I don't think it's going to pay off in the long run. And we're seeing it right now.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely crazy as we get ready to go back at it. Parker, Jordan. Man, I don't know who to pick here, dude.
Not sure. So you say single file restart? A single file. Yeah, but again, I'm going to go back. Matt, I'm going to say it again. It's not the double file. It's not that. It's the urgency these guys are having to get to the there, and plus how treacherous this track is, how slick it is, how hard it is to pass, how hard it is here. Even on a single file restart, which looks like they might be going to try, they're going to get double file because, again, you go back to, let's say where Ross Tatum is. I got to go. I got to get to the front. I can't ride here in 11th place, or I'm going to be in 11th place, and that's it. I got to go. And again, I take that back to that urgency here. But I'm actually going to try a single file. We'll see how that plays out and see how that works.
We'll see how it works out. Lights off on the pace car, Joe. Getting ready to get back at it.
Well, I appreciate it, Joshua. So, yeah. I mean, it's the first time I've seen, well, I don't say it's the first time I've seen the league do single file. This probably will help the restart here of the single file. But you're going to see some guys, man, try to get side by side. Yeah, I know Chris is probably pulling his hair out, because he don't like a bunch of cautions. He wants these guys, man, to calm down. The problem I go back to that is, if we go back green and Collins gets to jump out front, is you got to make passes. And then there again, you see right back here, who was that around about, I think about 7th place spot there. It's like, that's Justin Curtis instantly goes to the inside because he knows he's got to try to make those passes. So we're right back at it, two wide, 3 wide and back, but it is single file for the most part here, and at least got us going.
Yeah.
Parker Collins loved it. Hey, Parker Collins loved it, didn't he?
Oh, Parker's happy. Oh, Parker's in a happy way in there, Joe.
Well, I will say to anybody out there that's saying that these guys that need to learn how to drive as aggressive they are, more than welcome to come on out here and try. I mean, that's the only thing I can say about it, because I have watched, and the reason I will defend a lot of these guys is because I've seen these guys go on some of the worst tracks, Gateway, Martinsville, and go caution free. Okay, so I have seen it. I have witnessed it. I have seen the same guys on this track do it. But again, we're right back here to back, very back here, around 22nd spot. They're 2 wide, 3 wide, because they know, hey, look, we got to go. We got to get positions. We got to get. But up front, they're closing in on each other. You see Trask right there along with Altus. I mean, hey, my hat's off there. Yeah, my hat's off to whoever wanted the single file restart. It actually seemed like it got us back going and working. Although probably the guys back around, and I mentioned, remember Ross Tatum? He's only up to 9th. It's going to take him a while to get to that front side and try to move his way to the front.
Going to take him a little bit. Jordan, Joshua, Caleb, Daniel, Curtis, Danny there as well, Joe, inside that top 8.
Absolutely. Ross Tatum right now trying to work over Danny White there in the 2nd place spot, or excuse me, back and around by the 8th place spot. Collins still out front. He's got Trask trying to see if he can't come up on his back door, though. You'll see some battling going on in the very back, but time's running out. I mean, we're down to 5 laps, and I mean, if you're a guy like Ross Tatum right here, you're just basically trying to get everything you can in these last 5 laps. You know you pretty much are not going to make up 2.6 seconds, especially when your last lap was a 36.73 and the leader ran a 36.71. That's 200s, and that's from 8th place to 1st place. Is 200ths of a second. About 200s.
We got a yellow flag back out on the racetrack.
Oh, okay. But that's 200ths of a second in the back. Crazy. Got somebody smoking. Might be David off the track, but I don't know if that was him. We'll go back here in the back and see. It must have been one of these quick spins. Because it didn't flash up on my, didn't give me a flash up over here. David slowed up. Still watching. Oh. What the? Whoever that was. I don't know who that was. 88. You said the 88. Who's the 88?
I'm looking for you.
Evan Kinney.
Who is it?
Evan. Oh, right there it is. Yeah. Oh, the 51 came up into the 88. They both got in a wall, so the 51. Ouch, okay. Appreciate that heads up out there, Joshua. Thank you, man. Show us what the tires can do. Well, see, there you go. All right, we're going to be in a green-white checker. You know, it's hard to pass. If they go single file here, the one person that benefits is Parker Collins in a green-white checker. You know, Trask and Altus and them probably don't want to go single file, but it did work out to get them going here. And I got a feeling Chris is probably never going to want to put this track on the speedway again. But here's the thing. I go back to what I said before, Matt. I think they understand that, yeah, you got to get a lot of stuff and the urgency has picked up. But if they take this thing like it was at the beginning, it was a very good, solid race. So I think it's just a part of these guys are pretty much now, lack of a better word, they're over racing the track a little bit. Last three. Well, all right. Do you know? I don't know if you understand how a green-white checker works. If you're a NASCAR fan, you should. But I'm going to explain it for folks out there that might be new. Basically, we're going to go green, and the green flag will fly. If they make it to the white flag, the race is official. It doesn't matter if the whole field wipes out. Never seen it happen. But if the whole field wipes out, whoever makes it back to the checker flag at that point. But if they do not make it back to the white flag and a caution flies before they make it to the white flag, we'll line it back up and we'll try attempt number 2. They only have 2 attempts here. On the second attempt, same scenario. Go back green. If a caution flies before they get to the white flag, the race is over. If they make it to the white flag, well, that's an official then. They race it back to the checkered at that point. So that's kind of how the green-white checkers work. Now, in real racing, they pretty much are infinite amount of green-white checkers, from my knowledge. I think the longest, most green-white checkers in history, I want to say maybe 4, 5. I think that was a truck race also in real life.
It was indeed a truck race in real life, man.
I think it was. It was about. I think it was. I remember it. It's been years and years back, but I want to say 4 or 5. I'd have to do research, but nonetheless, here we go. Parker Collins, and they're going to take us through single file here. And I know Collins is going. Yeah, I'm loving this green flag, and there might not be a restart zone here too, and that might be another thing that's causing these guys a little bit of trouble on that restart. You notice they're checking up a little bit. There's no restart zone here like there is in normal tracks. I mean, this is not an official NASCAR track, folks. This is a Japanese-style track. So they're not going to follow NASCAR-style rules that I know of. But then again, they could. All right, they could. Because I think they do run, in real life, maybe 1 or 2 races here now. They used to not. Let's just say that. A long time ago. Meanwhile, battle in the back. And wreck in the back. Are we going to make it to the white flag, though? White flag came out. Yeah, white flag. So we didn't get a caution out of that in the back. We'll go back. But meanwhile, we got a battle here for second place. Mike Kelly had to pick it up. Remember, we was talking about him before. Jordan Trask falls back. Kelly comes to second. Parker Collins, though, he got that benefit on the restart, and he's gone. I think the battle's going to be here for third place as they come around with the final time. Final 2 turns. Mike Kelly's just going to run out of time catching Parker Collins. As Parker Collins is going to pull this thing off here tonight, Mike Kelly's going to come in second, and Jordan Trask is going to bring her home in third. Man, what a finish.
Checkered flag is out. Mike, man, what a run, dude.
Wow. Love it. Love it.
That was a fun race.
Yeah, I had fun. The horse there at the end. I had fun, man, calling, and I know there was quite a few little cautions there, at the end of it, but still, I think all in all, for what this track was and all, and what they brought out here, I think it was a solid race, for these guys. First time here, ever, and to come out of here like they did, I think they did really well. And Parker Collins, loving it.
Parker, absolutely loving it, man.
Whew. Well, let's bring some guys up here and get a word with them. Let's bring old Trask up here and let's get a word with him.
Jordan Trask, Matt in the booth, you got a copy?
I've got a copy.
All righty, man, you're going to wind it up. P3 here tonight in that number 79 machine. What did you think of old Motegi?
I love the track. It's very technical, very different corners here. And I love racing it. Overall, I felt like I had a pretty good run going, but as soon as I lost that lead on the one yellow we had there after missing my braking point a little bit, I knew I really wasn't going to get it back. A little bit older tires than Parker and Mike Kelly, and Mike had a great move there on the final lap to get second place, but overall happy with a clean finish, no incident points, and I think I led the most laps for another bonus point, so overall good points day.
Hey, man, you can't ask for much more other than maybe a win.
Yeah, these wins come few and far between. I think I'm 2 for 54, but they're always fun to celebrate when you do get them. Great job by Parker today. He was definitely fast, and he played the right strategy there at the end.
The right strategy, got it done here tonight. Congrats, man, on third. Anybody on the truck you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, big thanks to everyone at CRL that puts these races on. It was fun to try out this track, and I hope that series of cautions doesn't put too many people off of it. I think it's more just events happening on the track rather than the track itself. But and thanks to everyone else at Alloy Motorsports. It's fun to race with them and strategize with them. It's been a lot of fun. And thanks to you guys for the broadcast.
Oh, man, well, great work. Congratulations, and top 3 tonight.
Thank you.
There you go, Jordan Trask, man. Like you say, fighting back, getting up to third here tonight with this guy here, man. He was wheeling it, man, trying to come through the field, just ran out a little time. Got second, bring him up here and let you get a word with him. Old Mike Kelly.
Oh, hey there.
All right, Mr. Kelly, Matt and Joe in the booth, you got me.
I got you, Joe. We were having some intense discussions down there in the waiting room.
There you go. Well,
you just couldn't catch him in time. Is that the one?
All I needed was 2 more laps, right? Yeah.
Yeah, man, I think if you'd had a little bit more time, you could have got there. That single file restarts, did that hinder you at all?
Oh, probably, but the way I was getting used up on some of them previous restarts, I wasn't too upset about it. I just kind of wanted to get out of here by that point. And although I knew I was in a better situation than Josh and Jordan were, it wasn't that great of an advantage. It was really hard to pass. So I just kind of wanted the race to get over with. And then I got a lucky opportunity there when they didn't get the greatest restart and kind of got side by side, and it allowed me to get a run. And I got a 2 for 1, and got me up here so I could talk to you guys. And I mean, they said they were going to go to single file if we kept getting yellows within 3 laps, and we broke the camel's back with that last straw, so they put us in timeout.
There you go, man. Well, you broke the straw, but you still come home second here.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race. Interesting track for sure. Man, I was just so upset. I don't know if my strategy was going to work. Jordan and Joshua probably were going to finish 1-2 if that race went green, but I took off and I planned on just going as hard as I could and breaking it into 2 segments there, and I was in good shape. I know I was going to beat everybody who did the 2-stopper, but there was quite a few guys who did a 1-stopper that I didn't have probably enough track position on them to win the race, but I would have been up there. It was a good time, but it got crazy there at the end.
Man, it was crazy all the way through, man. Great racing, Mike. Is there anything you would like to say here at the end? Anybody on the truck you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I always want to give you guys kudos first of all. It's always a great time to watch these broadcasts at OSRN, and a lot of good numbers. You guys get a lot of good views, and it's fun. And it's fun to see if everybody loses their mind or who does what. Really enjoy that. So it's a good time. I go watch it right after we're done. And then, of course, thanks to all the admin. Probably got a little bit of a rough night tonight to go through that one. And all the sponsors, Ghost Athletics and CRL Podcast, everybody that helps out. I sold one of my charters, and we had a thing going tonight where we had $40 up to some lucky winner. We're going to spin the wheel, and whoever finished in that spot got $40 from the money we raised selling Chuck's charter, since Chuck can't race anymore. So that was fun. I'm anxious to see who won the money. And shout out to the team and the Smoking Hot Wife.
There you go, man. Well, congratulations, Mr. Mike Kelly.
Now,
Thanks,
when are they going to
appreciate
do the random draw?
They're supposed to be doing it right now.
Okay.
Sure.
Maybe if you
Joe
find
was
out, if you
gonna-
find out before I go off here, can you shoot me a message? Maybe we can see tell them who the winner was.
Yep, sure will, Joe.
All right, there you go. That's Mike Kelly, man, bringing home in second tonight. This guy, though, wildly brought it up front here. Parker, Joy in the booth, you got a copy?
What's up, Joe?
Well, man, I tell you what. First off, wild race. Very, very good one out here tonight. Really enjoyed it. But you got to take us through there on I'm going to say probably the last 15 laps. Man, you and Jordan Trask battling hard. You got to the front, but I didn't see your pit strategy, but man, did the tires help that much?
I mean, I was going to two-stop it. So I pitted on lap 30 with a little bit after Mike. And so I was going to two-stop it. I was going to do 30 and 60. And I felt really, really, really bad on the long run. Like, I just could not figure out turns 1 and 2. Like, I was just chattering the right front, trying to get off the corner, and I just burnt my stuff up. And I really did not feel good about our position. Like, we were running good, but I just didn't feel like we had anything for the leaders, which it was going to suck. But, you know, we haven't really finished too well this season, so I was going to take what I could get. But that caution during the pit cycle really kind of saved us, and I kind of figured if we kept getting more yellows, that I was just going to stay out the whole time. That's how it ended up working out. But yeah, I knew we didn't have that much better tires than Jordan. I pitted on 45 to get fresh tires, and he had just pitted when that yellow came out on like 42, 43 or something like that. So the tire difference wasn't really too big. I think I don't really know if I had just done better on those short green flag runs that we got with all the cautions than he did, or what. But I definitely felt a lot better. I was able to get around him a lot easier than I was expecting. So that was encouraging. And then I just had to throw a pretty big block on a 3-car going down the backstretch, and then Jordan did the same thing right back to me, which fair play. I'm all for it. Glad neither of us wrecked or anything like that. But I was really glad to get around him. And then I think the single file restarts kind of helped us out there. But even if we had double file, I think I would have been fine. It was just all about kind of figuring out the restart zones and going when he wasn't anticipating. I think I did a pretty good job of that. But the cautions really saved us tonight. I definitely don't feel like we were in any position to be in contention to win the race. I was going to be happy with a top 5 or top 10, but super happy to win here. I really hope we never come back to this track. I really hope that's the case. It is just awful. I don't like it, but I definitely will take the win after should have had it last week, but really got the results.
Well, you're talking about the track there. I know we went almost like 40-some laps before we had a first caution. And I talked about this here because, a lot of folks are out there like, man, an awful lot of cautions here at the end. But I look at it as, go back to it looked like the unknown coming in this track. Those first 40-some laps, everybody was taking it kind of easy. But that last one, everybody knew, hey, look, I got to get what I can get on these restarts, which obviously brings about a lot of aggressiveness. Maybe you feel that same way too? And I mean, it obviously played out great for you, but a lot of other guys not so much. Were you feeling maybe the same way that, hey, look, I got to go if I won't even have a chance to get positions, let alone win this race?
Yeah, I definitely felt, especially once we got the caution, I definitely felt like, it's time to go. We need to get track position while we have it, and I definitely didn't want to get too far behind as far as track position goes. I was already not in a great spot, so was trying to be really aggressive on restarts, just kind of picking them off one by one, each caution, got another one and another one, and it just played out. I mean, I don't really know what the deal was in the back. I mean, I couldn't really see what was going on there, but
a lot.
yeah. I mean, I know I was doing it too, so I can't really say too much, but just an oddball track. I mean, turn 2 feels like it just goes forever and ever and ever. Like it feels like you're never gonna see the exit of turn 2. It's just such a weird track. I mean, it reminds me of Darlington and Gateway in a sense. Gateway, you got shifting on one end and not shifting on the other, and it's just, I mean, the egg shape of both tracks just makes for some interesting racing. I don't know if I like it or not. I mean, I like it right now because we won, but had Deck gone green the whole race, I probably would be lucky to finish with the top 10. But regardless, won the race. That's all that matters, I guess. And we'll go do some left turns next week at the Glen.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, like you just said there, man, whether you like it or not, nonetheless, you came home, man, winning it tonight, got yourself up front. First time here at Motegi, man, here for the Clean Racing League, that is. You got anybody you want to thank for the win tonight?
Yeah, just all the guys at Only Dads for just being a great group of guys. Awesome to hang out with them and do these races and endurance races throughout the year. Just can't thank them enough. I want to thank Superior for putting their logos on the car for us, and they've been a great sponsor to be with, and go check them out at superior.com for some pretty cool button boxes. I want to thank friends and family watching, and of course my beautiful wife.
Well, there you go, winner tonight, Parker Collins bringing it home. And I think Mike Kelly, we're going to bring him back up here because we're going to do the spin the wheel. Mike, join the move to get a copy.
Hey, Joe, they said if you go down into Joe Spinelli's channel, they'll do that live on the broadcast.
Joe Spinelli, where's he at?
He is in...
Oof, what's an awful lot. All right.
Formidable Motorsports. He's live in Formidable Motorsports.
All right, well, those guys can't be saying no bad words.
They won't.
Okay, all right. I'll go down there. Folks, you heard it right here. We'll go down here, and we're going to see who wins this random wheel thing here. So I'll let Mike, I was going to tell Mike to go down there and tell him that I'm going to jump down there real quick. But, all right, I'll be right back. All right, folks. All right, we are live still on the broadcast, and I know we're going to do the spinning the wheel here for the $40. So let's, I'm going to hand it over here to Joe. Joe. And a matter of fact, tell your wife, by the way, happy birthday. So we'll shout that out.
Thanks, Joe. I'll let her know.
All right, Joe's going to spin the wheel.
You got everything up on your screen? All right, here we go.
This feels rigged.
'26th. Which would go to Joshua
Gillian. All right. Well, Joshua Gillian. Heck yeah.
Nice job. Congratulations, Josh.
Well, there you go, Josh.
It's rigged.
It's rigged. Well, y'all heard it first here on the broadcast, folks. He's saying it's rigged. All right, we know how that is. I mean, Joe Spinelli probably put some barrels somewhere. A matter of fact, Joe, I will go ahead and tell you this. Listen to the qualifying part there. You're going to hear some special things out there. Obviously, I wish your wife a happy birthday for you and all. And you'll get a kick out of what I said about the kitchen part, too. So, guys, awesome race. I know y'all probably didn't like the track, but we loved it. It was a good race for y'all. So.
Thanks, Joe, for coming down.
All right, man, there we go. All right, folks, we'll tell you what, man. We're going to leave here tonight. It's going to be a good one. Well, it was a good one here to leave Motegi. But for myself and everyone, have a good night.